Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and repeat guests. I was at the park last week and I took my daughter with me. We went to Brookside Park. You guys know what Brookside Park is? Yeah, a couple of them here. Cool. So it's got a playground there. I like to take my daughter over there. We walk there because I live down the street. And I like to put her in the little baby swing and just push her around. She loves it. She's always mirthing around. And so I was there with her, and I like to take her there. And there was, off to the side, there was a woman with her 2 kids. Call her Marjorie. And she had 2 little kids with her. She had a daughter that looked like she was maybe between 6 and 7. And then she had a little boy too that was probably, I don't know, between 3 and 5. I'm just guessing. But the point is they're going around rambunctious. And she was watching them from the side. And then she started to play with them. One of the things that she was doing was she was grabbing a little boy and she was helping him get up onto the slide so he can go around and start whipping on this thing. And I was just there pushing, and I could just see her off to the side because then you kind of look around and you see what everybody else is doing. She did it 2 times. She picked him up, she put him on the slide, he whipped around. He was loving it. Again, mirthing around. And then she went to go pick him up for a 3rd time. And she would go pick him up and she put him on the slide. And then I hear her tell the son, I can only do this 1 more time because I don't think my low back can take it. Isn't going to be able to take it. And then he went down. And I thought to myself, like, it really like struck me. And I don't know, maybe she had like an underlying back problem. Maybe she was in a car accident and her back was jacked up, or she has a herniated disc, or whatever. She could have some type of underlying condition that I didn't know about. But to me, what it looked like, frankly, was that she was just out of shape and didn't take care of herself. Right? She was a little overweight. She probably didn't really do anything as far as exercise or anything like that to keep her strong. So when she said that her low back couldn't take it anymore, what that sounded like to me was that her low back was weak and unconditioned. And to me, that, like, it really struck me because, like, damn, like, you can't even play with your little kid for more than 5 minutes because you're too out of shape for it. Like, how does that? He was having such a good time, and now he's not gonna be able to anymore because low back hurts. Right? So, one of my good friends told me that you shouldn't complain about something unless you have a solution to it. So I have a solution. Paul, can you come and give me your hand, please? I already asked him, so he knows. But just this being my area of expertise somewhat, this is what I would have Marjorie do in order for her to strengthen her low back. And I kind of want to talk you guys through it and why I would have her do these things. And it's nothing crazy or complicated. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to do anything like this. But these are just this is like a little regimen that I put together for Marjorie. And, you know, if she did this for maybe like a couple weeks, low back probably wouldn't hurt anymore. At least after 3 times, she might be able to get to like 5 times. And that'd be cool. So, 3 things I would have Marjorie do. Number 1, I would have her do a plank. Oh. And so the plank is just the top of the push-up, right? So why would I have Marjorie go into the top of the push-up? Well, because what's happening right now is Paul is locked in, right? I cannot move him. Yeah, that's probably what she would look like. But right now he's flexing his glutes, his spinal erectors, right? His low back right here, this is the part that was hurting Marjorie, is just firing on all cylinders right now just to stay put. Also his core, 6-pack muscles, right there. Okay, you can go ahead and stand up. Cool. So I would like to have her get up to like a minute of holding that. At least accumulate a minute. Maybe she would be able to do like 10 seconds. And what's real crazy is if she couldn't even do that laying on the ground, I'd have her go up against the wall and do the same thing. Or an elevated surface like a table or something to that effect. Yeah, so that'd be the first thing I would have her do. The second thing is I would have her do what's called a suitcase carrying. And so this is cool because she probably has a backpack lying around or some type of bag that she can do. And then you can just stand right here. Stand right there and then face them. And so what's happening here is you could play with this weight. You can add as much weight as you need to or take off as much as you need to. But because Paul is holding the weight on that side. This whole side right here of his obliques, his abs, and then again the same thing, his low back on this side is all firing just to stay put. And while it's flexed the whole time, it's strengthening. And you could do this by either walking back and forth or even just standing in one spot and just holding it and making sure that you don't lean to one side or the other, but that you're just staying nice and neutral. And the same thing, you can switch hands, and the same thing applies for this side too. So now what are we doing? We're building up her core on this side, and then we're taking care of the sides right there too. All right, I'll take it back there. Cool. And the last thing that I would have Marjorie do, because it seems like not only her low back is an issue, but that her lower body is just not strong and it's not able to handle it. So what I would have her do is I would have her do a squat to build up her legs. Ooh, you want enough for that? So ideally, what Marjorie would be able to do, and I don't think she would be able to just based on my experience starting off, but she would keep her chest up, she would be able to send her hips back and down, and descend down into the bottom of the squat. Yeah, there you go. And the same thing here, you try to keep their chest up so that these spinal erectors are firing, and the upper back is strengthening, and go ahead and stand up. And she should be able to build up her leg strength like that. But again, the same thing, her midline is engaged the whole time because she's staying upright. If she's not able to do that, you do the same thing into a chair and work your way down and continue to progress until you get stronger like that. All right, thank you. And so with the planks, like I said, ideally you should be able to work up to a minute to work on building up this core development. With the suitcase carries, same thing. If you could do, 50 steps on each side and just slowly increase the weight, that would take care of building up these obliques and again the spinal erector. And the squats, we'd like to see her get down in a nice beautiful squat and do repetitions like that in order for her to be able to develop her core so her low back doesn't hurt anymore, build up her leg strength and her endurance so she doesn't get out of breath just playing. And so this regimen right here, this could be done in less than 20 minutes, I would say, a day. And so to me, if she could find the time to do that, it would really go a long way in improving the quality of your life, her life, and probably the relationships you'd have with her kids, because she'd be able to do more and be more for them. So, that being said, if you guys have something that's impacting your life, it doesn't have to be necessarily physically, but just something that you're lacking in where it's probably something you should be able to do, think about it and figure out what you can do to start making improvements on that. And hopefully it'll improve the quality of your life. Mr. Toastmaster.